Hey guys, welcome back to Cooking Unscripted. Today's episode is what we are calling a legacy episode. This episode is geared towards recipes that have been in families for a very long time, that are near and dear to everybody's heart. This recipe has extra special meaning to me. It is a recipe of my dear friend Dante. His mom, Philomena, it was her sauce recipe. We are going to be making it today. We're going to be putting it over stuffed shells. It's amazing, but this is to honor her and to bring some happiness to him and to his family to see his mom's recipe after 2 years come back to life. So we are going to get to it. It's a great recipe. It's a very simple recipe. She is from Naples. This is a Neapolitan meat sauce recipe, which is your basic sauce that his mom would make on every Sunday night. It's pretty simple. It's extra virgin olive oil, onion, don't tell her, but I put a little bit of garlic in it, tomato puree, tomato paste, a little bit of water, and we're gonna cook this salt and pepper for 2 hours. This is an amazing sauce. We're gonna stuff some shells with some ricotta and Parmesan cheese, mozzarella, some oregano, salt, pepper, no lemon. Pour the sauce over the top, top it with some mozzarella, and throw it in the oven, and we're gonna bake it off. Let's get to it. First things first, extra virgin olive oil into our pan, and we are going to get this sauce going. First thing, extra virgin olive oil. Ooh. We get that in there. It's a little warm. I love the smell of extra virgin olive oil though. Olive oil facial. So oil is hot. We're gonna throw in our onion. So we're just gonna cook this for a couple minutes. The last little bits of our onion in there. Onion. To this, we're just gonna add probably about a clove of garlic, not much. We just wanna cook it for a minute or two. And from here, we're gonna add ground beef. You can add ground beef, you can add ground bison, you can add ground veal, ground lamb, Italian sausage, whatever it is you want to put into the sauce. In this case, for my wife, because we're actually making this for my wife, she likes her ground beef, where I would probably lean more towards Italian sausage. Throw in just a little bit of olive oil. We're gonna let this cook. One of the things that I do, that I actually learned from an Italian chef, is to break up ground beef with a potato masher. And the reason why is because it will actually get it all the same size and it just eats better. And I'm not sure if people understand when I say how things eat and the texture of things make a huge difference. If somebody tells you, yeah, it's really good, but it doesn't eat well, it's usually because there's some sort of texture or feeling in your mouth that is unpleasant. So breaking up your ground beef with a potato masher allows the texture of everything to be the same. And what we want to do is with the ground beef, we want to cook it to the point of no liquid. So please, please, please don't drain your ground beef. Actually cook it past the point of where there's liquid, and the liquid ultimately will evaporate and you'll be able to brown your ground beef, which is what we want. We want to be able to cook it to the point where it browns before we add our tomatoes, and we let it cook for 2 hours. And it'll give you a nice, great flavor. So the ground beef is all broken up, it's browned, we're gonna let the liquid cook out, but as you can tell, the ground beef is actually all the same size, and that's from breaking it up with the potato masher. Most of the liquid is gone. We're developing a little bit of fond. If you haven't watched previous videos and you're unsure what fond is, fond is that brown stuff that develops, all that flavor that develops on the bottom of the pan that will actually deglaze with the tomato paste. So the order in which we're gonna put this in is we're gonna put tomato paste in first, then we're gonna add our tomatoes, and then we're gonna add our water. And the reason why is we wanna cook out some of the acidity in the tomato paste. And the easiest way to do that is to let it brown, turn almost a rust color before we add our tomatoes, and it will actually take out a lot of the acidity in the tomato paste. One of the things over the years that I realized is that growing up, I spent a tremendous amount of time in the kitchen, but I didn't spend the time in the kitchen with my mom. I spent that time in the kitchen with my grandmother. My grandmother was, to me, a phenomenal cook. I think to my family, she was a phenomenal cook. And again, I have some of the recipes that she passed down. They're baking recipes, but they're still recipes. The importance that family members, friends, family members and friends play in the kitchen, I don't think gets realized enough today. My mother wasn't the greatest cook in the world, but she still cooked. And there are things that she makes, regardless of whoever makes them, people can't replicate. And grandmothers make things that people can't replicate. And I say this wholeheartedly. You can always tell the difference between somebody who loves you and somebody who likes you when they cook, because it comes across in the food. These recipes that have been in families forever, that have been taught and learned and passed down, have such important meaning. And to be able to cook somebody else's recipe that has been, I don't know how long it's been in Dante's family, I have no idea. But to have him entrust me in making it means the absolute world. And I hope that as I do make it, the love and the appreciation that I feel for being allowed to cook it comes across in the ultimate end dish. Nobody replaces the cooking that your family does. It just doesn't happen. And that's the joy of being in the kitchen and having family members who cook for you. The ground beef is browned. We are going to add our tomato paste. I was also told to make sure I use Cento, right? Cento, that's the way this says. I was told to use these specific tomatoes, which is great. They're good tomatoes. I use them. Using tomato puree is different for me. I don't normally use tomato puree because I like to break them up in my hands. So I get whole peel plum tomatoes, Italian style San Marzano tomatoes. Here, we're gonna get this in here. We are going to brown it, let it cook. And we want that rust color. We want to give it time to cook out some of that acidity. The one thing that we don't want to put into this sauce, or tomato sauce in general, is sugar. If you cook out the acidity in tomato paste, you cook out the need for adding sugar or honey or any sort of sweetener. It's just not something that, to me, belongs there. I've yet to meet an Italian that will tell you to put any sort of sweetener in the tomato sauce. But you can see it's got this rust color to it as we're cooking out the acidity. There's a little bit of fond on the bottom. You gotta be careful because you don't want it to burn. We are going to add our tomatoes. And then we are going to add water. 1 can of tomatoes to 1 can of water. We are going to let this go low and slow for the next 2 hours. Since we are doing stuffed shells, we gotta make it without. I'm gonna add some ricotta. So my mother-in-law has a legacy recipe that my daughter knows how to make. I actually don't know how to make it. My wife doesn't know how to make it either, right? Hopefully we can get Gabs on camera and we can make it. All we're gonna add to this is garlic, ricotta, oregano, parsley, mozzarella cheese, and Parmesan cheese. Salt, pepper. So some oregano. I don't even have dried basil to put in there. Chop up some parsley. So the one thing we want to be careful with this is the salt. And the reason being is we're about to add Parmesan, which is incredibly salty, mozzarella, Parmigiano Reggiano, that's what we want to use. We want to make sure that we're using a good quality Parmesan. You don't want to use any pre-shredded Parmesan because it has an anti-caking agent in it. It just changes the taste of everything. Like I said, it's all about how things eat. A little black pepper. Got our garlic. Just a little bit of salt. A little big piece of Parmesan never hurt anybody. Remember, golden rule, you can always add more, you can't take it out. Last thing we're gonna add is an egg. Put that in there. And this will actually help tighten up the ricotta when it bakes. So ricotta sauce or ricotta filling is done. So we got some shells. Cook to your whatever box direction you use. I actually undercooked. I think the box said 13 to 14 minutes. I cooked it to about 11 minutes. It's pretty simple. Take it, put it in. We're actually gonna put a little sauce on the bottom. So we're gonna go through, we're gonna fast forward thing through this as we stuff shells. Forward. Shells are stuffed. We put a bottom layer of sauce underneath the shells. We're gonna put our sauce over the top. Put some mozzarella on top. Then we're just gonna throw it under the broiler until everything is all nice and melted, nice and cheesy. Some broil on. Our stuffed shells are done. We threw them under the broiler. We got a nice little caramelization on the mozzarella. And we are going to eat, glorious, eat. The important thing about this recipe is that it is, like we've been saying all along, a legacy recipe. This is all about the sauce. It's a homemade Naples Neapolitan style sauce from Filomena Mastriani. It's an amazing sauce. It's a great sauce. And it's simple, it's easy, but it packs so much flavor. And I can only imagine the smell and the taste of the food that is coming out of that kitchen, or that was coming out of that kitchen. And I hope, Dante and your family, that this helps you and it helps you guys start making this food again. It's an honor and a privilege to cook this and to make it, and to know that hopefully your mom's smiling down and enjoying what we're doing here. In the meantime, we're going to eat it. We're gonna eat it in her honor. If you guys have some recipes that you would like us to do and to honor your family, please message me through YouTube. You can find me on Instagram at chef_JC Pepin, Facebook Jason Pepin, TikTok Chef JCP. They're all there. Please reach out. I would be honored to make your family's recipe and to show the world what you've been eating your entire life, or what maybe your family's been eating for centuries. But Dante, I love you. I love your family. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please keep those recipes that are dear to your family moving forward. They're as much of an heirloom as a ring or an earring or a piece of paper. They are that important. So I will see you guys next time. So this sauce. That's just so good. I hope you guys like this video. Please like, subscribe, notify, all that. And like I said, if there's a legacy recipe you want me to make, please by all means send it my way. I will make sure that you and your family get the love and appreciation that these recipes deserve. I'll see you guys next time.